Hello family, this is my art display. You'll get a better picture of it in a minute as soon as I get in front of each thing. It's a section of our cafeteria here in the office that everybody has an option to do display on, and they asked me to do it, so I did it. It was a 3-week stint. Today is May 16th, 2014, and it's coming down, so I have to take pictures of it. So I thought I would, because it is a little bit hard to take a photo of, I thought I would actually just come over here and do some video. And you can see what it looks like. These are the little knitted ornaments that I did. I carved the actual little needles out of basswood. The size needle is approximately about a 2.5, and then I knitted each one of the ornaments. And then to hang them up, I kind of fashioned them into a Christmas tree. So there you have it. Getting a lot of really good reviews from these things. Putting this particular thing together took a really long time. It was very difficult to do because I'm not really apparently good at stringing things together. These are down below on the counter. I had space to put stuff, so I just decided to put up some interesting things that people might appreciate about what I was doing. So these are some of the little needles that I had made. And this is what it started with. It was actually a little square thing that I had to turn into round and then just make each one little needles with. And then over next to it, I had, this is kind of like a step 1, 2, and 3 type thing. Here we have just a solid block, which is what I started with. Here is basically me trying to take out pieces that I don't need in to have 3 blocks inside, or 3 balls inside the cage. And then here's a finished product that I had to retrieve in order to be able to put this in the display. So each thing is a little bit different than the other one. They're different, slightly different shapes. Sorry about the video. And the person I gave that to is extremely happy that I gave it to her, and she was kind enough to loan it back to me for my display. She says it's a piece of art. So if she says it, then I believe it. Okay. So the next thing I had hanging was actually all the Christmas ornaments that I made for you guys. Well, not all of them, because I didn't get all of them back, but that's okay. And it's a big thing that's kind of hard to get in one shot. Because they all kind of look like they're really very constructed and, you know, not exactly finished. What I decided to do was kind of make it look like it was on a construction site type thing. So I made that thing that looks like a crane might be pulling it up, you know, like a beam or something that they might be taking up to the top of a building. So at the very top, and then it has a little shelf below it that I have stuff hanging from. So Mom, there's all your little band that I made you. There's the sax line, of course, horns and trumpets and baritone and all that sort of thing, clarinet. This is a cool thing I just kind of made out of a piece of wood that was an accident. It actually has a big crack in the back of it, but it's like the coolest thing I think I've ever made, so I really appreciate it, and even though it has a crack, I still like it. It lives in my living room. This little gizmo is I was gonna turn it into a picture frame. I was just kind of fooling around with it. And I kind of realized I don't know how to make a picture frame, so I'm working on that. We'll see what that might turn into. Here's just some other stuff, pieces that were just kind of interesting to look at. And I mostly hung things from them. And you'll recognize some of these. They were things that you sent, or things that I might have reproduced of things that I knew I had given you. This little pair of mittens was new. Although people think they're boxing gloves, perhaps I should work on the shape of that. Anyway, so they kind of hang. That's one side of it. And I have it balanced against the other side. And over here I had some of the more geometric things, like the wooden chains. Here's the little ball in the cage. The chain that's like half done, well, Gary's chain. This little hat in the middle, that's for my buddy here at work, James, who insisted that he have a baseball cap and insisted, even though I don't paint them, that it be red. So James has a red baseball cap, and he couldn't have been any more delighted that it landed in the middle of the display. So here's some cool things I made, just because they were kind of Christmassy, and because I'm an inker and we do ink drops. So I actually had done a bunch of other things like this at one point. I can't seem to find them, so they were much more geometric, but they were things that you would actually either make into a mobile or make ornaments out of, you know, just like to hang on the tree, kind of like icicles. And this is what would be Caitlin's little DNA, although it's the one large DNA that I made for her that I actually cut into two. And then here's the little hangy thing that's the round, the ball in the round cage. And then down below it, just to show people like what the process looks like, I did a chain that's not finished. So here it is marked out like you would have done it for, you know, the whole length of it. And then it just kind of goes down, you know, piece by piece. People are really reacting to that a lot. And over here is the chess set that I'm working on. This is actually kind of interesting to see each day, because every day I come in, these are in a different position and configuration. So who knows what, like what people are doing with them. But it's unfinished. It's a work in progress, and I'm terribly sorry about the video here. But yeah, I got pawns, I got some rooks, I got some sample bishops that are just not so hot. But I'm working on it. They turned out to be actually much harder than I would have ever thought. But I'm figuring it out as I'm going along, so that's a cool thing. And then here's just some blank stuff I put in here, just so people can see what kind of it looks like when it starts. And the last hanging thing is the very first ornament that I ever made, which is one single little mitten. And it's always like, you know how there's always one mitten that gets lost? Well, that's kind of like the lost mitten. So anyway, I have to take all this down now. It took 13 hours to put up. I'm thinking it's not going to take that long to get it down. So I'll have all this stuff back to you guys pretty soon, and I'll let you know when it's on the way. Take care. Miss you. Bye.